Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Medieval Dynasty. I am Tristan. Alright, so I mined all night. Threw it all in there. We're gonna head this way. Do we have anything to sell? I did not check. Okay, so, thank you. I don't really have any bronze tools to sell. I'm not sure how much cabbage seeds we have yet. We haven't finished harvesting everything. We haven't got any copper tools yet. Oh right, we're making like one copper tool every 3 days, so probably won't be selling those. Later on, after like basically, well, I guess I could start selling them. So far, we have 764 flax. So what is that, like basically 132, or sorry, 832 flax seeds here. We only need 254 of those, so we could sell the rest, really. But I'm not going to do that at the moment. Yeah, we're not producing much in the means of selling. Well, we can sell these. Sell them all, actually. Alright. Now, we're not looking for people right at the moment. I don't think we'll be growing too much this season. Not that I think of, at least. Well, if I did, pardon me, sorry. If we do grow, my thoughts are we can use the tier 2 barn as quickly as possible. I just set my keyboard to American.
Hail, friend.
I did not mean to do that.
How can I help you?
Show me your
wares
wares.
never disappoint.
We can sell all of you 480. Not bad. Okay.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Where are we? Alright. So we are heading over here, and we are going to do some quests, or a quest at least. We're going to continue Inigo's story here. I haven't gone this far into his story since basically the release of the game. This guy was kind of a dick then. I don't know what he's going to be like now. Crows and foxes. All out here. Okay, we have arrows equipped. Here. At the beginning of, or when the game was first released, this guy was basically, you came over here and he taught you how to hunt, kind of thing. And like, this is just a big hunting area. Yeah, you can see my feet. Nuts. So I believe there is literally everything down here. You want to... Whoops. Alright. I don't care, I'm taking... Unless I kill the bandits in the... Like, unless it's a bandit camp, I don't really care to take free stuff anymore. Did you always have an eye patch? I think you're lost, boy. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb. Wait a second. Look at me in the eye. And stop shivering for crying out loud. Huh, black and blue. You're Jordan's family, aren't you? Yes, my name is Rasimir. You must be Samber then. And how do you know that? I was talking to Unagast. He told me that you were a part of the Reminders as well. Part of what now? The pack, the one with Unagast and Jordan. I've never heard this idiotic name in my life. Oh, sorry, maybe I've been mistaken. We were called the Undying's Fist? The Undying's Fist, I guess that is? Oh my, that's much worse. Now that, I'm gonna say that's a whole lot better name. You're damn right it is. That's because I came up with it. Everybody loved it. No idea why Unagast lied to you like that. I'm sure he was just jealous about your creativity. Ah, of course he was. And not only about that. Anyway, I would love to hear some stories about my uncle and the pack's adventures altogether. That's an amazing coincidence, because I would love to spend my time telling the old tales by the cracking fire. Oh my, really? No. See my property and forget where it is. Oh, come on. It'll only take a moment. A moment, really. Just tell me, what was my uncle like? How did you become part of the Undying Fist? And, what did you do exactly as the Pact? Yeah, that'll only take a moment. You don't know what we did? Unagast didn't get to that part yet. Hey, alright, but be quiet and try to be less annoying, Alright, 1 second. Where should I begin? Right, it all started when Jordan left his home. He was 18 at the time. If I remember correctly, that clever bastard was always too big of a fish for his birthplace, and he knew that. Left as soon as he could. But cleverness at such a young age always means two things: being arrogant and hot-headed. His plan was to set out on a big adventure. That's it. Pretty detailed, huh? A path like that is paved with skeletons of young idiots. But none of them was Jordan. Either way, he was wandering for days. Days soon turned to weeks and his rations to dust. He was useless as a hunter. Back then, at least, so berries and mushrooms was all he could get. So obviously, he needed some coin. Pardon me. He came across a manor with orchards so vast they seemed like an ocean. Jordan managed to find some work there. A week of back-breaking labor had passed. His hands were covered in blisters, skin red from the scorching sun, knees pulsating from pain. I must say, you're really an amazing storyteller. I wasn't expecting that. Shut up. I agree. Do you want me to finish? Where was I? Oh, right. He was exhausted from all the strenuous work he's done. Went to the lord of the manor with a smile on his face to collect the payment. His stomach was already full with fantasies of all the delicious treats he was dreaming buying. And all of that was ruined by the hand of the Lord holding a cup of lousy coins. Jordan was furious. That was merely a fraction of the pay he was supposed to acquire. He started shouting at the Lord, demanding justice. Peasants were just flies to the Lord, disgusting, replaceable insects. And what do you do with a fly which buzzes too loudly? Both of the Lord's palms struck Jordan's ears with the strength of an ox. Well, that's good. I don't even pay my peasants. Jordan fell to the ground stunned, and the Lord's guards threw him out of the manor like garbage, stealing that few pathetic coins while doing so. If I may add, it wasn't until evening when Jordan regained his hearing, and with it came a fervent thought of revenge. Your uncle was quite a capable fighter when I met him 10 years later, but he wasn't back then. He knew the guards would massacre him if he only came close, so he needed to find another way to fill his vengeance. Jordan was always ambitious, but that hatred fueled him like nothing before. And what happened next? What came later was me becoming bored of this conversation. Go away. No, wait. You can't leave me like this. I can do whatever I want. Scram. I have things to do. What things? I'll do them for you. I'll do anything you want. Just please tell me the whole story. Let's go with it. Damn, you're annoying. No, I'm not. See? What an annoying thing to say. Yep. Okay, you can help me. Seems I won't get rid of you any other way. Just say what needs to be done. You won't regret it. Here, grab the shovel. It's a piece of crap, but it will do. There are clay deposits behind my house. Go there and dig up some clay. On it, boss. I think the story's come a long way since they first put out the game. Well, your crappy wooden shovel was better than mine. Deliver 5 clay. Oh. Here's all the clay you wanted. Will you finish the story now? I got you a lot of extra clay. Alright. So as I've already said, Jordan wasn't much of a fighter back then. He didn't have any money nor connections, but he had one thing, an unusual ability to see from an early age. Jordan was an exceptionally good liar. No sweaty palms, no voice crack, no tells really. Calm, steady breaths, eye contact held all the way. He eventually managed to handle any kind of pressure, even in the craziest of situations, but it wasn't that at first. He felt no pressure lying, no stress at all. It was as natural for him as breathing. He had absolutely no remorse. He came up with a plan so immensely moronic and unrealistic that it's really hard to believe that it worked so perfectly. At first, he convinced the nearby town's tailor to sew him a whole set of clothes worthy of the most wealthy nobleman, the finest of fabrics, silken threads, you name it. Horrendously expensive. So how did he manage... How did he manage to afford it? You may ask. It's simple. He didn't pay for it. So he stole it? I said no such thing. Jordan wasn't a thief. not in the traditional meaning of the word, at least. Apart from that, did I finish the damn story? Ahem. While wearing his new clothes, he traveled to the castle to the king of the realm and entered it. Okay, now I know that you're making this all up. That's simply impossible. Ha ha ha. You're absolutely right. It is. It's mad to even consider trying to pull that off, but Jordan, he just walked straight in. I don't blame you for doubting me. Damn, I would have been first to doubt a thing like that if I didn't see him doing it hundreds of times later with my own eyes. Anyways, he walked right into the castle, and once he was there, he followed through with his plan, which was betting his wife. Whose wife? The king's. The king's wife. So the queen. Indeed. So let me get this straight. The plan was to get into the castle and lay with the queen. Exactly that. You were right. That is the most absurdly idiotic plan I've ever heard of. I told you, but it worked like a charm. I still don't get it. What worked? What was he accomplishing by that? After the lovemaking, he dressed up, deliberately leaving his undergarments on the bedside, and told the queen he'll be right back with some refreshments. Then he went to one of the king's guards and told him that he saw the queen with a company of strange men sneaking into one of the chambers. The guard rushed in and witnessed the queen naked in bed with man's clothes right next to him. As a loyal servant, the guard reported on the matter directly to the king himself, who, as you can probably imagine, became furious to say the least. He couldn't really punish his wife. That would be bad for his reputation, but he could pursue her lover. Unfortunately for him, at this point, Jordan was long gone from the castle, riding a beautiful bay mare he borrowed from the stable in the sunset. I still don't get it. You see, the king didn't catch that filthy seducer, but it didn't mean he couldn't track him down and find him. To do so, the only track he could follow was the one that Jordan left behind, except his undergarments and a plausible memory for the queen, his name. Not his real name, of course, the name he used when introduced himself to the queen was the Lord of the Orchards. Precisely. Now you get it. Haha, that's incredible. The Lord's head must have left the company of his body pretty promptly, or didn't that get the Lord hanged? Let's go with the first one. He didn't get killed. That wouldn't be in Jordan's style. The queen begged for his life to be spared, so the king threw him in the dungeon where he spent all the days he had. It really wouldn't be up to Jordan at that point. Like, the line that wouldn't be in Jordan's style doesn't fit there. Jordan was amazing. All that which, with just the power of his wits and speech, he surely showed the Lord that he shouldn't have wronged him. Don't get the wrong idea about his reasons. Jordan didn't get through all of that just because of what the Lord did to him. You see, the Lord was a cruel, merciless brute. He mistreated all of his subjects, killed for fun, raped for sport. People used to call him laundryman because one of his habits was drowning his bastards in the lake right after birth, like unwanted kittens. Jordan needed to stop him, and he did, but that's not the end of the story. After the Lord's capture, someone had to take his place. He didn't have any bright successors. But then, with just an uncannily perfect timing, came a distant cousin of the Lord, a charming young man with two different eyes. You have to be kidding me. He easily acquired all possessions of his sentenced relative. But Jordan didn't want any of that. Not for himself, so he took only 3 bags of coins from the treasury and left everything else to the hands of the peasants. They were elated. He is still probably worshipped there, I can tell you that. Oh, and one more thing. Why 3 bags, you might ask? That's easy. One for the tailor, another one for the stableman he took the horse from, and the last one for himself, with the exact amount of coins he was rightfully supposed to earn for his work at the orchard. I told you Jordan wasn't a thief, and that was it. He mounted his beautiful mare and left the realm, continuing his adventure. At least that's the story he used to tell us, so nothing of that may be true at all, haha, but that's just how it was with Jordan. Now I understand what you and Unagast were talking about. He really does seem unreal. Let's go with that. I never met anyone else like that. Don't get me wrong, he had his flaws. But the things he could do, his tongue wasn't even silver, it was made of pure gold. But wait, you didn't tell me what was the purpose of the Undying Fist. Oh, I thought it would be obvious now. On the day Jordan's mission was born, he knew that the spoiled, rotten elites like that were scattered all around the world, draining life and dignity from the hard-working, simple folk, and that he was capable of stopping them. To some extent, at least. So that's exactly what he started doing, overthrowing corrupted lords and giving back to the community. He sounds like a hero, a true hero. Well, it wasn't like, yeah, I guess you could say that. So how did you join the pack? God, this is long. Jordan was working solo until he met Unagast. That rat's agile fingers could work where Jordan's tongue didn't. And then they needed someone with other talents they were lacking, like strength, manliness, bravery, independence, gallantry, integrity. Right, I think I get the picture. So they recruited the best there was. I was between jobs at the time, so I gave them a chance, and finally the pack started to really make a difference. But I don't like to brag. Oh yeah, I noticed. You're humble to the bone. Thank you for noticing. People at my level don't need to boast about our skills. Just like the sun doesn't need to prove itself, right? Anyhow, I already spoke more words to you than I did in the last 5 years to anybody. So it's time for you to go, and preferably don't come back, ever. It was it was a great pleasure and true honor. Yeah, I don't care. Leave, now. And in return for giving away my location, deliver this delicious meal to Unagast in his favor, a knuckle sandwich. Do you want me to hit him in the face? Did I stutter? No, sir. Of course, sir. I'm on my way, sir. Oh, please say I get to hit Unagast. Well, that was bloody long. It was a good story, but it was super long. I'm not delivering the sandwich, or I'm not hitting him now. Bloody hell. Not gonna have a voice by the end of this episode. Oh, come on, please be bandits. there any mark on the map? No. I guess that's... okay. Bison. Saving just because I don't want to go through all that again. All right. Well, interesting. Time passed during all of that, but our hunger and thirst did not really decrease. Excuse me. Right over there is where most people start. Sorry, build. Their village. He's their first village. Who are you? Following. I'll be back for you. Actually, let's talk to you. Alright. This is the perfect place. What do you think? Yes, quite suitable. What now? Next, I will practice shooting. If you have time, you can show me how to do it. You are definitely better at it. Hi, alright. My novice archer watching there. I think 20 meters away from the target is enough. Show me how it's done. Fine. Where's the target? Octo. Did it tell you how far you are? Not really. Oh, my arrow's back. Hi. And that's how it's done. If you only were as modest as you are accurate. I can't be both. There's a lot of practice ahead of me. I will train more until I'm ready to face you one more time. Be prepared for an archery tournament when we meet again. I accept it. Until next time, then. Alright. Let's continue the story. And I can ignore it again. Ah. Aw, Unikos, are you sleeping? It's always nice to see you, Rasimir. Unikos. Hello, I've talked with Samber. He's a real sweetheart, isn't he? The sweetest, like a jar of honey? Yeah, let's go there. Ah, that's Samber for you. I see. He did tell me about my uncle, the story about the Lord of the Orchards. He has some unexpectedly good storytelling skills, doesn't he? Yes, he really does. I was downright astonished by that. One time, I swear, he went for over a year without speaking a single word, but when we were sitting by the fire, he remembered some anecdotes, laughed out loud, and began his tale. Went from a total mute to the master of ceremonies. The narrative was so gripping it was hard not to listen. He even did voices, but after finishing he became silent again. I never fully understood that side of him. A theater genius trapped in the body of a bear wrestler. He actually asked me to give you something. Really? And what's that? A knuckle sandwich. Yep, that sounds exactly like Samber. Are you going to deliver it? Can't, I'm afraid that I've lost it. Yes, I do want to deliver it. Oh, sure. Like, I would have just hit him. I love people punching me in the face. Around the valley, I'm known for it. That's just painful to read. Would you be so kind to do it for free, though? I'm all out of my being punched in the face budget. Okay, you're joking. I started worrying there. Don't. Samber just like to say crap like that. But if he asks, I'll tell him you knocked me out. I'm gonna hit him. I just hit him. Just out of curiosity, what did Samber tell you about becoming part of the pack? He said that you were looking for the best recruit and that he was obviously he was an obvious choice. Yeah, that seems like something he would say. Isn't it the truth? It's not a pleasant memory, but I believe you deserve to know the whole story. We didn't recruit him. Well, I guess we did. Jordan did, but that wasn't a matter of choice. When Jordan and I started to follow his mission together, we were rather successful. Everything was going smoothly to easy even. We were doing a lot of good putting many well-deserved smiles on oppressed faces. That's when we let our guard down. Be quiet, geese. There was a secret guild formed by a few of the higher-ranking knights and barons. We called them the Vendors. Bunch of really heartless bastards. Their most lucrative business was selling a living merchandise. And no, I'm not talking about animals. Please don't say it. Slavery was strictly forbidden in the realm. The queen was adamant about that. Well, the Vendors had their own set of rules to follow. They caged them like cattle. Mostly women and children forced to fight rats for the poor. I'm gonna go strangle your goose. Forced to fight rats for the poor little rations they were being given in the damp dungeons. They were held in it. The guild preferred quantity over quality, so they didn't care about disease and didn't tend wounds. I think I'm going to be sometimes it took them weeks to get the dead out of the cages, survival of the fittest, or rather outlasting of the least fortunate. It was simply horrible. If you ask me, all of the damned guild deserved a cruel and slow death. But that wasn't how we operated. Jordan made it very clear from day one we were never to take life. That was the most important of rules. Anyway, we managed to get everyone out. The carriages full of broken people, even the horses kept their heads low, mourning. The despair in the air was even more poisonous than the stench of the rotting flesh. In all that, we forgot to make ourselves safe as well. We were caught by the mercenaries who brought us to the torture chamber. Yet, this gruesome place had an even worse room hidden inside. Unbelievable. The vendors weren't in their patient mood, so they sent their worst torturer right away. I was horror-struck, truly petrified, could barely breathe. Jordan didn't say a word, just looked at me. His eyes were relaxed but focused. I realized he wanted me to be calm as well, but I just couldn't. He went first. The torturer strapped Jordan to a chair and just started swinging. His fists were like anvils. Every hit drew blood and broke bones. In a matter of seconds, Jordan's face looked like a bloody pulp. The only things poking through it was his smile. It was one of many times I wondered if he was even human. The torturer quickly realized that he needed different tools for such a unique specimen, and went to grab his blades. That's when Jordan started talking. This story went from very happy to very gruesome. He was making him offers, one after another. But the torturer just kept carving his torso like he was preparing a steak to be grilled. There was so much blood I could taste it in my mouth. I wanted to pass out, just to run away from all of that, but I couldn't. My heart was pounding way too fast. That's horrible. Suddenly, the torturer stopped. He looked at me and back at Jordan. This was the only thing he said. If you're lying, you're going to watch me do the same to him. I was about to puke, but Jordan just nodded, so he untied us both and helped us escape. There were more mercenaries on our way, heavily armed. No one stopped us. Even they were terrified of the guy. We managed to get out in one piece. Well, we managed to get out alive. Jordan's wounds wouldn't heal for weeks, and even after that, he was scarred so badly it looked like he had chainmail stitched to his skin. But we had escaped death, and its emissary became one of us. The torturer was Samber, wasn't it? Yes. Not a shock. Now I understand why Samber didn't want to tell the truth. It sounds absolutely horrid. To be honest, the nightmare of the night never stopped. How could you want a person like that amongst your troops? Do you think I wanted that cutthroat anywhere near me? I couldn't get a wink of sleep with him around for days. I was constantly watching my back, watching his even more. So why didn't you blow him off? That's simple. Jordan made a deal with him. Promised him the only thing that mattered to the brute, which was money. A whole lot of money. A whole lot more than what the guild was paying him. And a cut from every heist that we did. But couldn't you just pay him off or run away? That's not the way Jordan did things. He was a master liar, and when he gave someone his word for real, he never backed down. Besides, as we later found out, Samber wasn't evil in his nature. He was just a true soldier. Did what was asked for of him. Jordan spent hours talking with him, explaining our rules of conduct. Samber never broke any of them, not once. That's incredible. Your lives, I mean. I don't think I would be able to handle all of that. Honestly, I hope you will never have to. I've been through a lot, and after all these years, the thing I wish you the most is to have a boring, steady life. Compared to your stories, boring life sounds pleasant. Then I have a special request for you that will help achieve that boredom. Sure thing. What do you need? I need you to go to Oro, find Ida and get my scythe back from her. Consider it done. Oh my god, is it morning? Well, I'm ending this story here, or this episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm upset I didn't get to punch him. Are you done? Thank you. Don't know what all that was about. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Please leave any comments on how you think this series is going, what you thought of that story, and all that. And I hope to see you again. Have a great day, everybody.